and deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Gowon is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back, Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogwu coup, so-called Nzogwu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. What I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. There was a coup by Nzogwu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gowon and decided that regionalism was the best way forward. Restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1960-1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent. Wales, the same thing. Everybody is free. But Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy. I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos to Gowon, telling Gowon not to agree. After having signed the agreement, that same Gowon you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gowon said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to Gowon to ask him, why did he say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Gowon or gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. It must come.
Of course, Biafra must come. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. While you are joining, share the video, invite others to join. Don't forget to click the like button. Are you watching on YouTube? Are you watching on Facebook? Don't forget to follow and subscribe to that YouTube and follow the Facebook page. Wherever you are watching from, on YouTube specifically, if you click the like button, we will have more recommendation there by the algorithm. We are here, we are back to continue where we've stopped, to continue to preach the gospel of emancipation and gospel for freedom. Of course, it is Sunday. Today is Sunday and we are live and direct. We are live and direct. It is 22 minutes before the top of the hour. 22 minutes before the top of the hour, regardless of where you are watching from. In Biafra land, it is 22 minutes to 8. It is 7:38 in Biafra land. So, great and wonderful people of Africa, lovers of freedom, I welcome you to welcome others, where we are going to be looking into some situation that is in front of us. This is what we are going to look into. It is the first picture you see on the top is those leaders who believe that there will be a reputation of what happened in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Gabon. They decided that they don't want to take chances. They decided that they will go into reshuffling of their military formations and changing people from their positions to avoid the military coup. We're going to actually talk on that. That is, the first image you saw, the boot on ground. On the other hand, there were some exposition done by Femi Falana, or is it Femi Falana? We are going to reflect on that because it has been what we have been talking about over the years with regards to how your resources and everything you own is being exploited in Nigeria, and without you benefiting nothing from it. Secondly, you can see the man, the impostor in Aso Rock Emeritus. The man that was in Aso Rock, impersonating the dead Buhari. We're going to talk about the report that was released by the international organization with regards to what he has been, the formation of militia wings that he established through Hope Uzodinma and Devil Omahi, to use them to kill and reduce the population of Biafra, whom he called the dot in a circle. It was after that he established this killer squad to start killing our people, because the genocide of 1967 never stopped. They continued to actually implement it systematically. On the other hand, you see the military in Gabon, because there are some uncertainty that is still playing out, because we want to know who exactly is spearheading the coup in each and every country. We know the one in Burkina Faso, we know the one in Mali, we know the one in Niger Republic. Niger Republic, of course, it is as a result of that coup that you start seeing this international organization writing and exposing what Nigeria did to Biafrans. I am going to explain it further. And then you see military junta of Niger Republic. that Niger Republic, there is a call for French military to leave their country, but they are actually insisting that they are not going to leave, that they do not recognize the military government, which is actually trying to provoke something that we do not understand. And we saw thousands of people in the, by the gate of this French military calling for them to leave. Even the military junta decided that they will protect the militaries that people were actually protesting against, which is a wise decision, because it is something that, you need to make sure. You need to make sure before it happens. And there is also a Rwandan president may issue a proclamation that he is going to support the military junta if they go to war with the French military in Niger Republic. We're going to unpack all that. And on the other hand, you will see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the president of Nigeria together, because we know very well that president of Nigeria and the judiciary, they are in cahoot to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in a solitary confinement, because he's a freedom fighter, because he's a political activist, because he is the one who exposed everything that is hidden under the sun, everything that is actually done in secret by the executive of Nigeria. On the other hand, you will see the depleted uranium shells. You will see depleted uranium shells, which the US is going to be supplying to Ukraine. And the reason why I brought this issue of depleted uranium shell that the US is going to be supplying to Ukraine, it is as a result of how they are promoting the war in Ukraine, because the war in Ukraine is actually what they need in order to keep Russia busy, and without without considering the fact that the people are dying as a result of such war. And the more they are equipping this war, the more the war is gaining momentum, the more people are dying every day. Depleted uranium is a very dangerous ammunition. It's a very dangerous, ammunition that is actually, capable of, reacting like a nuclear bomb. It has some element of nuclear bomb on it. But now, in a situation whereby they are supplying these things, what are they expecting? But we are going to talk about it, because there are many more to it that we need to talk about. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, great people of Africa. We need to start from home. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a political activist. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the man that is actually speaking on behalf, that spoke on behalf of everybody in Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the man who saw tomorrow, who saw what is happening now in Nigeria, both the rigging of election, both the marginalization, both the lies against our people, both the aggressor they called Ojukwu, because of the 1967 war that they have actually, caused and brought upon us. And they killed us. Eventually they said that we are the aggressor. But we were never the aggressor. Ojukwu was never the aggressor. Rather, Gowon decided to be the stooge for neo-colonialism. Gowon decided the military president of 1967 decided to be the tool of neo-colonialism. That was Gowon. He decided that he will wage war against Biafrans because Britain asked them to wage war against Biafra. That is exactly what you see happening all over the countries of Africa, because the people that governs these countries are the people who are willing to kill their people in a quest to defend the activities of the colonialists. They are willing to destroy their own, people. They are willing to kill for the sake of defending the colonialist agenda. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to, expose that there was never, something like Ojukwu being aggressor. Rather, it was Gowon. And Gowon became the aggressor because British asked him to be. British orchestrated that war that took more than 3.5 million women and children, non-combatants, in Africa by Nigeria. AU was actually, African leaders was watching. Some of them supported Nigeria to promote the activities of colonialism, because it was as a result of that colonialism that, brought us together with Nigeria and called us this name called, Nigeria. And because we refuse to dance the dance of these colonialists, we refuse to continue with the structure of colonialism. That is the reason why they waged war against us. They killed these women and children in 1967 to 1970. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rose up to say, no, we cannot continue to see the lies peddled against those people who died for the sake of people trying to protect what they knew nothing about. And that is as a result of that, Nigeria decided to go extra mile, extra length to go and kidnap him in Kenya. He was in Britain all these years preaching the gospel of man's emancipation. He was not captured. Immediately when he left Britain, British sold his security details to Nigeria, which is against the law. They actually made sure that they alerted Nigeria that he is no longer in the land where crime cannot be peddled. He is no longer in the land where illegality cannot be condoned. He has traveled to the land where illegalities and crime can be condoned, which is the land of Africa, Kenya to be precise. That was how Nigeria moved swiftly to, disregard every treaty, international treaty, to go and capture him, torture him for 8 days, and decide to rendition him and place him in a solitary confinement. Ever since that time, 2021, he has been there for more than 2 years now. And when the court of competent jurisdiction set him free in 2022, on the 13th of October 2022, he was discharged and acquitted from all the 15 count frivolous charges leveled against him at each court standing. They increased the charges. Court quashed all these charges, and they did that within the ambit of the law. Now, the Nigeria executive, led by the impostor in Aso Rock, which the international organization has reported how he enacted Ebubago militia, and he used them to kill so many youth in our land, and Asare Dokubo was part of that plan. So it is now that they are releasing the datas that this man, who, of course, after serving Nigeria, jailing a freedom fighter, placing him in a solitary confinement, and flouting the order of court for him to be free, and he decided that he will relocate to his home country, Niger Republic. And immediately when he relocated, a coup took place. As he is actually, one of the people who spearheaded the coup in Niger Republic. Maybe if he is the one, maybe we will, maybe we might even forgive him in the near future. Maybe we might forgive him in the near future because, you know, he was able to have plans that is good for his own people. Because woe unto those who used him as an impostor to destroy the lives in Nigeria. He was paid for what he did. So from that, what he realized from the payment, something is happening in his country, and it is something that is, it is something that is advisable because he did not destroy, he made use of the payment he received to use it to elevate his people. It is something that is condonable, but the fact that there are people in Nigeria who used him to destroy the lives in Nigeria, those people will pay for the crime more than he will pay for the crime. So many of you might be thinking, why am I saying this? Of course, so many of us are aware when he said that if you disturb him in Nigeria, he is relocating to Niger Republic, a landlocked place, which is so poor country. In a country that is landlocked and very poor, he said he will move there. Maybe let me actually reiterate as what he said during that time. Let me read for you. Maybe I will bring it in front of your screen so that I will bring back your mind to it. Let me bring your mind back to it so that you will understand and remember what we are talking about. Because it is not a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence. Let me read it for you. Now he said, I will leave for Niger Republic if they disturb me in Daura, Buhari, April 21, 2023. That was his saying in April 21, 2023. President Muhammad Buhari said he will leave for neighboring Niger Republic after handing over as president if he is not able to get enough rest in Daura, his hometown in Katsina State. So, what type of rest is he looking for that will make him? It was just an excuse to skip to where he come from. It was just an excuse for people not to bring him in front of the camera, because wearing and putting on these things, it is actually a problematic event. It is a big job for him. That is why he decided to go there to use the opportunity to fix something that side so that it will be a good place for him to be. It is not a coincidence, but congratulations to whoever he is. Congratulations to him if he is part of the new development, because the reason why we are talking and we are actually talking about all these things, it is because we know very well that this man was the man they used to place Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a solitary confinement, kidnap him, and it was the man they used through him and the Attorney General Malami, who is part of those who orchestrated all that illegal activities of the executive against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All of them were used in that regard. So that is exactly the reason why we are mentioning them, because they are part and parcel of the plan to make sure they will keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from speaking the truth, because the truth scares the man that was in Aso Rock. The truth was the only thing that scares him the most. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maybe was still out there, he might even leave before the time of his office, before the time or the tenure of the original Buhari. But as they planned it, they removed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they decided that he will finish his tenure and go back to where he come from, in Niger Republic. So, we are calling on Tinubu. Like I always say to Tinubu, you don't have much time. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let it be something you will be remembered for. Let release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be something you will be remembered for. You are not releasing him because we are begging you. You are releasing him because the court has ordered and discharged and acquitted him. It is just that you people in the executive decided to flout the order of the court by saying you are appealing the court verdict. And in my own understanding of appeal, it is to actually screen the verdict given to or given by the appeal court to see if there is any foul, to see if there is any flaws in such verdict. And the court, appeal court, have seen that there is no flaws in the verdict given. It was done as per law. It was done within the ambit of the law, and that is the reason why the appeal court decided that they will start employing delay strategy so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will continue to be where he is, so that he will be the joker for the election tribunal. We know all that, and that is the reason why we are telling you and advising you to release this man now that you do not have anything to use him for as your joker on a normal slate. Release him so that you will have something to be remembered for. It is very, very important. It is an advice. Allow the court, allow the verdict of the Supreme Court, allow it to stand. The stay of execution does not have any ladder. It doesn't have any support, because there is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the verdict given to him is screened and is authentic. Let the Supreme Court, if you believe that the verdict is not authentic, why don't you people come to court and let us find out why you are keeping the man? Come to court. Why are you people scared of coming to your own court? That is the question we are asking. Why are you scared of coming to your own court? So, coming back to the man who placed him there, the corrupted people who make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released as per the order of the court. It is the man called Malami and the man called Buhari, even though he is imposter of Buhari. They were the ones. And they passed that curse to Tinubu. They passed it over to Tinubu because this man is an Igbo man. This man is a Biafran. He is not, to be treated equally like every other race in Nigeria. He is to be prejudiced against. He is held arbitrarily. He is, he is somebody that is, of course, the genocide they committed against our people in 1967. That genocide was very, very, they did it. They did it because of whom we were or whom we are. That's why they committed such genocide. It is not as a result of it is not as a result of like people fighting war. It's as a result of trying to remove us all from the face of the planet so that they will conquer our land. They will take over everything that is found in our land and hand it over to Britain. It is not even to take it for themselves. It is to take it to hand it over to Britain. That is the worst, that is the worst part of what these people are pursuing. We are pursuing to destroy every stronghold of neocolonialism. They are pursuing to make sure that the grip of neocolonialism is actually, not shaken. That is what Nigeria and their presidencies is pursuing. That's what they are pursuing. And that is the reason why you see military takeover all over the place. That is the reason why you will see military takeover being prevalent across the Sahel region, mostly because those people, the colonialists will always make sure that they will actually select the idiots in their midst. They will select people who are gullible in their midst. They will select people who cannot even speak for themselves amongst you and make them the commander-in-chief, the first citizen of the country, while if they are asked to go out there to kill, they will go and kill. That is the same strategy they are using with Fulani. That is the same strategy Fulani is using with the political leaders in our land. They are deploying these strategies randomly in the various countries where they are, in charge of. And at the end of the day, we know that what goes around will always come around. Every day is for the thief, while one day is for the owner. We are calling on Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as per the order of the court. We are calling on Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as per the order of the court. The courts has set him free. He should be released as per the order of the court, not by the order of the executive. So, let us go to this reshuffling that is going on around the country. Okay, before then, let us go to this, the man that was in Aso Rock and how he was used to kill our people. Let us go to the information that was released by the US-UK organization. Let us see to it to understand exactly what that is all about. Let me read. US-UK organization release report on how ex-president Buhari allegedly funded a Bubago in Southeast to kill residents, used Imo, Ebonyi governments as executor. That's right. The report stated that the remote reason behind the rising and the proliferation of more than 20 armed killers entities in Igbo land especially southeast and Igbo part of the south-south Nigeria since 2015 and January 2021. A special investigative report by such research by some research group in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Nigeria has revealed how former President Muhammadu Buhari allegedly used the Ebubagu security outfit to harass and kill thousands of innocent Igbo residents and push for a radical Islamic agenda in the southeast region. Now, the Islamic agenda, if you remember when they started even teaching people Islamic, they started teaching people in Arabic, started teaching people Quran in Biafra land. We lamented about it because if you think about the expansion of Islam, we do not have any problem with religion. We do people's practices, but in a situation whereby they are using their practices in order to actually, conquer people, that's where we are having problem. Because Islamic religion, they are good at using their religion in order to push for their conquest mission. Because their plan is to Islamize the world. Their plan is to Islamize Africa. Wherever they are, it is all about, and they make use of poor people. They target poor communities. I know Facebook will start kicking you out because we are speaking something that is very, very, the truth. If they kick you out, bring yourself back up. It is very, very, necessary. We will speak the truth. They will target mostly the poor area, poor communities, where they will give them food parcels, where they will give them some palliatives, and through that palliative, they start teaching them Islamic ways. They start initiating them into Islamic religion, which is very, very bad. You do not take, advantage of people's, status in the society in order to lure them into what they don't believe in, or something that is not of their origin. If you want to preach to people to join your religious belief, I believe you preach to people who are on their normal state of mind. Not people you take advantage of their, poverty and you initiate them into something that they don't want to be. And that is exactly the reason why, if you look at those, black sheep in Islamic space, you look at them, those who are actually, terrorists. These people were manipulated from their poverty. It is as a result of poverty that they were recruited into the space where they found themselves. And if you look at it, it is the same formation that they are using to recruit ordinary people, especially the Africans. They go to the poorest community. Once they get to the poorest community, they will use the poverty as that's why when I say that poverty has become an institution in various countries in Africa. Poverty is an institution. Through poverty, they will manipulate you to follow a religious belief that you do not know anything about, that you are not, born to follow. Poverty. Once they give you some food parcel, once they give you some palliative, you forget yourself, you follow them. I don't have problem about this religious, system, but if you want to go for your evangelism, go to people who are on their normal state of mind, preach to them the gospel. If they want to follow, so be it. Don't take advantage of people because of their poverty. Then you lure them. As a result of you helping them, then they pay you back by becoming or part of your religious belief. It is not help you are rendering to them. You are compelling them. You are taking advantage of their states. You are taking advantage of their state of mind. That's exactly what I don't want. And that is exactly what Buhari did during the time of his Ebubago Malaysia, that impostor that is called Buhari actually. That is exactly what he did during the time when he is killing our people. I know that the topic we have today is a very, very, it's a topic that they will surprise, but we must preach it. It does not matter how many people they will give us to watch we must continue to preach this gospel because it is something that is very, very necessary. Our people are being deceived on a daily basis. People are giving guns and bullets on a daily basis in order for them to use and kill each other. On a daily basis, some of them they are lured there because of their state of their status in the society, because of poverty. It is a very, 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 very wrong doing. It is very, very wrong. We call wrong for what it is. We cannot start nurturing it. I prefer I like Islamic religion. I like it because they are very committed in their religion. Very, very committed. Absolutely. But what I don't like is the way some of them are actually going about it in order to recruit people into the religion. In order to recruit people into the religion. Anybody that is poor, to actually get them to do something they might not want to do if they are not poor. It is very easy. It is taking advantage of people, which is not good, which is not moral. It is not moral. It is immoral. Don't take advantage of my situation. If you want to render help to me, render help to me. That's by the way. So this is exactly what Buhari used. The so-called Buhari that was in Aso Rock. They were teaching all this Arabic and all that in our land, killing our people who, because we are resisting. We have our own traditions. We have our own religious belief. So we could not go through their own process. They started killing our able-bodied men. You know what they do? It is called, they try to emasculate our people. Destroying and killing, targeting the men, the young men, targeting them, killing them. The one that actually made wave was killing of 14 people that was attending a wedding ceremony. Killing a young boy that was, that just arrived from, city, coming to visit his own family member. They killed him in front of his gate. Killings that happened in Imo State and Ebonyi State by a Bubago militia established by Buhari or funded by Buhari and by, spearheaded by Devil Omahi and Hope Uzodinma. The one that those fools who call themselves traditional rulers are actually calling for people to go and vote for. They spearheaded the killing of our people in those areas. So that is the reason why. Now, I believe that the only reason why they decided to release this is because maybe they are having or they are perceiving that there is, the man is fighting for the freedom of his own original nation, Niger Republic. Maybe that's why they decided to release this report. Maybe they can perceive what I am perceiving. They are perceiving what I've been perceiving because they cannot just release this report. We know that during that time, there was a United Nations coming into Nigeria when this insecurity was on a very, very high, there was United Nations. There was presence of United Nations, and even their tank was present, especially in the coastal area of Biafra. That's where they were, seen. the United Nations, they saw everything. Probably, of course, they investigated those things. They had those datas. But maybe they are releasing these datas now because they perceived what I perceived about, the new development and the good news that took place in Niger Republic. They perceived what I perceived. Okay, let me continue to read the news. The report was published as a collaborative effort of the International Society for Civil Liberty and Rule of Law, Inter-Society in a bracket, the Ekwenche Research Institute, Chicago, Illinois, US, the Global Igbo Leaders Coalition, United Kingdom, and the Rising Sun Charities Organization, Newark, New Jersey, USA. The organization noted that the Bubagu security arrangement was also a channel through which illicit small arms and light weapons were proliferated in the region, adding that the Imo Ebonyi state government were particularly culpable in the implementation of the jihadist Fulani and Islamic agenda. The report was signed by researchers, including Emeka Ume Abalasi for Inter-Society, Ositademma Agu for Ekwenche Research Institute, Chicago, USA, Professor Justin Akujieze, Board Chairman, Ekwenche Institute, Nze Amadi Ebube, Mbama, for Global Igbo Leader Coalition, Georgia, USA, and Bridget Okafor. Rising Sun Charity Organization, UK. Who is Bridget Okafor? The report stated that the remote reason behind the rising and the proliferation of more than 20 armed killers entities in Igbo land, especially southeast and the Igbo part of the south-south Nigeria since 2015 and January 2021, when escalation and proliferation heightened, was traced to Buhari's bent on laying siege, conquering and enslaving the Igbo land, her defenseless population and properties for purpose of radical Islamization and politics of hate, segregation, and exclusion. Of course, that was what our people went through in the hands of Buhari. It was what our people went through in the hands of Buhari. So, in this regard, you will know that what we've been talking about is actually the truth. How Ebubagu, used by Hope Uzodimma, how Ebubagu, used by Dave Umahi. Dave Umahi is done killing our people. He is now given a minister, from governor to minister, ministerial position. That's where Dave Umahi is today. From governor to ministerial position. It is an irony. But in that regard, it does not stop the fact that the same Hope Uzodimma who spearheaded all these atrocities against his own people, that those traditional rulers came out to say you must vote for. Those traditional rulers, they deserve what happened to those people that met their end in the hands of Hope Uzodimma, so that they will feel it and feel how it is. Because it is other people's children that died. It is other people's husband that died. it is other people's, family that died. They are there condoning it because of the small amount of money they were given. It is very, very bad. This is what we are facing, and that is the reason why we cannot remain in Nigeria. Because Nigeria never mean well for any one of us. They never mean well for anybody, including those who are championing one Nigeria. We know very well and we are aware that Nigeria does not mean well for them. It is just that they are actually blind because they are benefiting one thing or the other from the criminality of some of these political leaders. That's the reason why they are spearheading all those things, championing one Nigeria, one Nigeria. It is very, very sad. Very, very sad. That is the reason why you find people saying that they are praying in Nigeria and God is answering the prayer in Niger Republic, in Gabon. The reason why they are saying such. Let me show you this, some of the reason why people are actually saying such things. Let me play you a video so that you will understand what is going on in Nigeria. You have what it takes but cannot make use of it.
That is pauperizing our country and increasing poverty at a very dangerous level. Now, Comrade has started by referring to Section 16. In fact, a subsection there says, the economic system, the state shall ensure that the economic system is not operated in such a way as to concentrate the wealth of the country in the hands of a few or a group. Now, when Dangote was said to be building a refinery, and I've said it publicly, the government of Nigeria gave him land free.
Okay.
Call it free economic zone for themselves.
All right.
All the machinery imported free, at official rate, which is illegal.
Okay.
No duty was paid for the entire machinery, duty waivers. And the government went to the bank to take a loan of $2.7 billion.
Wow.
To invest in the private sector. And they then said, we cannot fix our refineries.
One private
sector. We challenge them.
One private sector. They took this amount of money for one individual in Nigeria, not to support small and medium enterprise. They took this big money for a so-called, well, I said Nigeria, I don't remember Nigeria practicing capitalism. They took this money to one so-called billionaire of Africa. Only one man. But small and medium enterprises, which supposed to be bailed out because of lack of electricity, and they will be struggling and grappling with this electricity crisis and all that they are actually the ones who is creating employment in various communities. But they took this amount of money to go and bail out a rich man, pouring water in an ocean, using cup, pouring water into an ocean, because it is all about to empower this man and this man alone. Everything they do in Nigeria, it's all about that man. The man that was given license to import many things and was not given license. This license is actually, only for him, exclusively. They gave it to him. Other people, Ibeto was excluded. They are not part of Nigeria. They are not part of the billionaire that is in Nigeria that's supposed to be helped by the government, or supposed to be, promoted by the government, because he's a Biafran. they're promoting this Fulani man. He's the only man in Nigeria. He was given a land for free, imported everything without paying duty for it, because he is building refinery. Refinery that we already have, many of them in Nigeria, but it is not functional because of they want to promote the plan of this neo-colonialist. That is the reason why those things are not functional. But listen, for you to understand that you are in a one big mess. You are in a one big mess. This thing, they are actually including what they are using Facebook to, try to suppress us. You see this coup in Nigeria, it is inevitable. Trying to use Facebook, YouTube to suppress what we are doing, it is inevitable. Coup in Nigeria, it's inevitable. Let them continue to deceive themselves. Even if it is not human beings that are in Nigerian military, that they are robots, hey, we will find out. We will find out. We will find out whether it will happen there first, or Cameroon first, or Togo first. We are going to find out, because this shenanigan of this, fake country called Nigeria, it is getting out of hand. It has gotten out of hand. Listen to it.
The government have no business in business. Why are you funding a private enterprise? It was at that stage that they allocated $1.5 billion to fix Port Harcourt refinery, $1.4 billion to fix Kaduna and
where are they?
Refinery.
Where are they?
President of Nigerian Labour Congress, please, I beg you, second assignment. You must get the relevant unions to monitor the ongoing rehabilitation of the refinery. Otherwise, these guys would divert the money criminally, as they have always done for the past 35 years.
Okay.
Secondly, those refineries are no longer enough for us. Refineries are being sold in Europe and America. The government must buy some of them and assemble them here, so that we can earn money, revenue from our own natural resource. Government has spoken about solid minerals.
Why?
Labour must also take cognizance of what is going on. They give licenses to individuals to go and mine,
Okay.
and pay a pittance.
Did you hear that? They give licenses to individuals, especially in the northern Nigeria. They give licenses to individuals. But if you come to the eastern part of Nigeria, if you come to the so-called south part of Nigeria, where people do bunkery, they are set ablaze, they are killed on a daily basis. But in the north, they give licenses to individuals to go and do mine, pay peanuts, pittance to the government. Now let me read this one from this same guy before we could proceed with this video. Femi Falana exposes $9 billion gold drain from Nigeria annually. Gold drain, 19th of August. In the 19th of August, Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria and a human rights activist, has raised a serious concern about the illegal export of gold from Nigeria. Illegal export of gold from Nigeria. I have said this over and over again, that in Zamfara state, in Osun state, all these places where you see, these terrorists, it is what they place there for them to be guarding these resources. When they mine these resources, they sell it on black market. I said it several times here. Now, he has come to confirm it. $9 billion Because so many of you will believe, it is a gold in Zamfara, it is a gold in Osun State. They are very small amount. It is not this, it is not that huge. It is not part of Nigeria resources. But the oil that is coming out of Biafra land is resources for everyone in Nigeria. But gold that is in the north is sold by them without being a part of Nigeria economy. Oh. When we understand all these things, you will now realize that Nigeria is not a workable country and can never be. It is not a workable country and can never be. You know, when we say it, people will say, oh, you people are too sentimental. You people talk too much. But this is now you are hearing it from another source. Listen, let me read it further. He said that $9 billion worth of gold is being smuggled out of the country every year, aided by the use of two private jets. Falana voiced his concern during an interview with the Channel TV News, highlighting the exploitation of Nigeria's valuable minerals resources by the foreign entities. Because those people who are mining this thing illegally, they sell it to the foreign nationals. They sell it to the foreign companies in a black market illegally. So they will not collect the actual amount that is, meant for that product. They will be given patents, penny. That's how what you see going on in Nigeria. According to Falana, these minerals resources are vital for the nation's development and the growth of the robust economy. He expressed his distress at the situation, stating the Chinese were mining lithium illegally in Zimbabwe, and that country said, sorry, exploitation of lithium is illegal. Now, the Chinese are building a factory in Zimbabwe that is worth $300 million. Now we have lithium in abundance here, and it's being taken away. Falana went on to criticize the appointment of Dele Aleke as Minister of Solid Minerals, suggesting that someone more suited to the role should have been selected. He emphasized that the gravity of the situation goes beyond the lithium. Have you seen the resources that Nigeria have, but it is not part of their GDP? It is not gazetted. It is sold in a black market. When you try to do oil bunkering in the east, they will kill you. They will arrest you. But it is being done in the north. No one is getting arrested. No one is getting killed. No one is being set ablaze. And I said, do you know $9 billion worth of gold illegally taken out of Nigeria annually with two private jets? I am not talking of lithium. I'm not talking of other resources, he said. Did you hear that? This is the same man that is saying the same thing. Listen to another one he said. Listen to this one.
Sometimes you don't pay anything. I'm handling a case where the government said, don't pay for 5 years. We want to encourage you from one block where they're mining gold in Elisha.
Okay.
And the company will make $500 million in 1 year.
Okay.
No tax. But the poor are asked to tighten their belt even when they are dying. Now, the second point, we may be gathered here discussing democracy. Democracy is under threat in Africa. Very serious. I'm sure you know what happened yesterday.
No.
You know what happened last month?
No, we don't know.
It's going to continue.
Yes.
Oh, yes. There's no apology about it. I can predict with mathematical exactitude the next country, very close to us, that will experience a coup very soon. Where a man currently suffering from dementia, who has been in power since 1982, What did he do yesterday because of what happened in Ghana? Let me change the commander of the army. You are deceiving yourself.
Okay.
There was a coup. Attempted coup in 2019 in Gabon. The guy survived, but you know what has happened? Yesterday, he also suffers from stroke and dementia. He didn't know where he was. He said, I don't know where I am. But please help me.
Make some noise.
That is what they have reduced Africa to. You needed to have seen that guy when there was
A puppet.
Macaroni
puppet.
About Africa. Franco-Afro summit.
He is a macaroni puppet. The young man using old people in Nigeria. Yeah, in Africa, sorry. When you talk about these old people, they say, respect these old people. Give them respect. Respect my food. These people don't even deserve anybody's respect. A young man, 47 years of age, is using them, twirling them, making them like a puppy, treating them like a teddy bear, controlling them, ping-pong, remoting them. They tell us they are old people. You can see he's even shaking, Parkinson, stroke, everything. He cannot even fathom himself. He cannot even fathom why his environment. But this person is the one leading a nation. Where do you think he's going to lead you when he doesn't even know where he is? These are the problems, challenges. It's all about power intoxication. I will be here. This is to show you that democracy they have given you in Africa is a fraud. Because they will, sponsor both. They will sponsor APC. They will sponsor PDP. They will sponsor Labour Party. Whoever wins becomes their puppets. That's what they do. And it will never, ever stop. It will never stop. They sponsor those whom they know that they have face. It is only revolution that will save the day. And that is the reason why we have seen this thing since 1967. We say we cannot be part of this project. The project is anti-human. The project is inhuman. We cannot be part of that project. Facebook, if you like, take us to zero. This project, this must be preached. This gospel must be preached. If you like, take us to zero. No problem. This gospel must be preached. If YouTube want, let them take us to zero. This gospel must be preached. One day, you will forget yourself. We will repeat it. That is it. That is whom we are. We are not derailed by the number. We are not moved by the number. That is the project we saw. Our people saw in 1967. They say they cannot be part of. And this Britain, this their puppet, this their, these people, they actually, recognize in our midst and make them the, omnipotent. Those are the people that will take you to your untimely death, to your early grave. Take your children to their early grave through Mediterranean Sea, through Sahara Desert, and you are watching it. You are a military. This puppet will command you. Go out there and shoot people in Lekki Tollgate. You go like a robot. You shoot people in Lekki Tollgate. This puppet will command you. Go to Olu. Shoot people in Olu. You go there. You shoot people in Olu. This puppet will command you. And remember that these puppets are not the one commanding you. Shooting people in Lekki Tollgate in 2020. It was Catriona Leng who commanded such through Tinubu. And it was about, because they were so scared of the revolution. They believed that if Lekki Tollgate was not handled the way it was handled, there will be a revolution. That protest will lead to revolution. That's what Britain was so scared of. And that's why they threw their Catriona Lang, who was leading Nigeria, guiding the impostor in Aso Rock, or go to advise Tinubu. this is your turn in 2023. If the revolution take place now, if they unveil the revolution, it will scuttle your chances in 2023 of becoming a president. You know, it is your turn. All these political leaders, they know that what we are saying is the truth. They know very well. But they will never admit it because it is all about trading the lives of our people for the position of leadership. And this military, you did it and you believe that it is something that is good for your children. You imagine the type of life you will bequeath your children, the life in infamy, the life of poverty. That is the type of life you will bequeath your children. That is the reason why they are using you instead of you refusing to be used. Because you have the power to refuse to be used. They are using you to go and kill innocent people. And you know that what you are doing is wrong. You're continuously doing it. Continuously doing it. The weakest military we have in the Sahel region is the Nigerian military. That is the weakest military we have in the Sahel region. Giant of Africa. You are militarizing 220 million people. Militarizing them. Killing them. That's what you people are doing. You cannot stand up to challenge the status quo. You are watching young military doing it. They are not even doing it because they are being controlled by the neo-colonialists. They are doing it for the benefit and the future of their children. You see what is going on in Burkina Faso today. They are turning into nuclear. They are going for nuclear. In Burkina Faso, that young man is actually my age. He is leading them into nuclear. They call me a small boy. They should call him a small boy also. He is leading them into nuclear, first in Africa, probably. South Africa had it. They threw it away. Because of, you cannot allow nuclear in the hands of black people. But the young man of Burkina Faso is going through that route of nuclear. Look at it. When you look at these people and understand exactly what they are there up to achieve for their own people, you imagine those old people you've had for several decades. What have they done for your children? What have they done for the sake of the future? Nothing. The country is deteriorating. The nation is going down the drain. Nobody is actually having a free lunch. They call themselves the biggest economy, yet your children cannot even eat hot meal 3 times a day in the biggest economy. Your children cannot even have a good house, a good, accommodation for themselves. Yet you are in Nigeria military, you are in Nigeria police, you are in Nigeria DSS. You are DSS, but you are living a life in infamy. And when we talk, you make us the enemy. Because Britain wants you to make us the enemy. When we are speaking on behalf of everybody, for the benefit of everybody, we become the enemy and the target. Those are the people who have been condemned to death. We agree we have been condemned to death. That's why we continue to speak. It is 2 things involved. It's either you capture us, you jail us, or you kill us. 2 things involved, but the gospel continues. That is one thing that is very important. You will never stop it. Capturing and imprisoning Mazi and Nnamdi Kanu, does it stop the gospel? Does it instill fear? It will never. It makes the gospel to continue even radically. It is radicalizing the gospel. That's something they didn't know. That's something you will never, fathom. as black people in Nigeria, leading black people. But I can assure you, Nigerian military is the weakest in the world. The only time you find them being active when it is to kill a bloody civilian. When it is to attack bloody civilians, Nigerian military, they are very good at that. They will attack bloody civilians, kill them, even steal their body from the scene. That's what they are very good at, like they did in Lekki Tollgate. But when it comes to doing things that is beneficial to Nigeria, they will not do it. Let me go over this and read for you. Let me read for you. I will even maybe bring you a video of what is the new development in Burkina Faso. The military regime, their new development. Let me show you so that you will know. I don't know. Let me just bring it to the screen. Listen to it.
Burkina Faso's interim president held talks with a Russian delegation on Thursday, including discussions on military cooperation. The visit, amid Western concerns over the Kremlin's expanding influence in the region, saw Ibrahim Traoré sit down with Russia's Deputy Defense Minister Yunusbek Yevkurov.
Military cooperation, technical military cooperation, but also cooperation in the field of the economy, in the field of nuclear energy, are all questions.
Did you hear that?
We will do our best to help you develop in all these spheres. I have already reminded your president of this. In the field of military cooperation, we will discuss the training format of your cadets and officers of different levels, including pilots in our country.
Junta-led Burkina Faso's relations with Moscow have been in the spotlight since it booted out French troops in February. That fueled speculation that it would deepen security ties with Russia like in neighbouring Mali, where Russian Wagner mercenaries operate. The visit could also be a further sign that Russia is seeking to shore up its influence in Africa, following the death of Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Did you hear that?
Quizá no sepas qué es un certificado SSL, pero los hackers sí, y lo odian. El certificado
in the field of nuclear, in the field of military cadet, they will actually, train their military on how to fly military jets. So they are actually hoping to integrate into nuclear energy. Once you have a nuclear energy, to have a nuclear weapon, it is a very simple thing, a very simple task. This nuclear energy is actually fueled by uranium. Uranium is the fuel for the nuclear energy, and it is green. You can power your electricity. You can actually power any other thing that you want to power. You can manufacture nuclear bombs once you have nuclear energy. And Russia is willing to come into the party. I know this is not going to be, it is not going to be a good, news for French or Europeans. It is not going to be a good news for them. But it is a good news for the people of Burkina Faso. They will have, they will have electricity. they will have electricity unabated. They will. This is not about people, playing games with the future of the people. It is doing the things, making things to happen. It is not about people trying to, invest on one person in the country. Just like this man in front of your screen is crying about. I thought I might show you what militaries can do. Because it is not about having political will. It is about having the love of your people, military will, to make sure they bring the country to their best. That is it. Have you now seen the difference? Puppets and the real leaders. A young man, a very young man. Have you now seen the difference between puppet old man and a vibrant leader? A young and innovative, vibrant leader. Have you now seen it? He is talking business. He is talking deals. He is not playing deals. He is not playing business. He is talking them. And you will find it being implemented without anybody, interference. That's what it is going to be. Africa is going to be lit up by the young and vibrant leaders. Whether they come from military, it does not matter. All we want is African development and growth. That's all we want. And this is the reason why Britain killed us. Because they know we know how to bring African development, African growth, innovation, and all that, etc. That's why they killed us. They didn't want it to happen. They never dreamed anything good for Africa. So listen to your man.
The guy couldn't work. And none of his colleagues in the Club of African Dictators, African Union, none of them will say, gentlemen, why don't you resign?
Okay.
And let a functional person take over the affairs.
How will they do that?
This guy had stroke since 2009.
Tea Party in
With
Addis
the weight
Ababa.
of that country, he couldn't establish a hospital. He was in Britain for years. And then went to Morocco. Just like Obubu Seko, 35 years in power, no hospital. Eyadema was being flown to Israel after 32 years in office. He couldn't fix a hospital like this. This gang of looters here. And that is what they have made of Africa. So please, I think Sheun was talking about some comparison. Sheun, up to 3 years ago, all the member states of ECOWAS were under one form of civil rule or another. Don't call them democratically elected. Civil rule.
Yeah. Listen, let me show you all this gang of looters. Let me show you what they have done. Gang of looters. Rwanda, Cameroon make major changes in their military positions after Gabon coup. Laughable, right? Okay. In Rwanda, President Paul Kagame retired hundreds of soldiers, coinciding with the advancement of young soldiers within the nation's security framework. New generals have also been appointed to lead army divisions situated across the country. The same thing your president in Nigeria did once he got to office. But who told them that young generals are not? Is it not a young general that is leading Burkina Faso? Who told them that young generals are fools? That is something that you need to be asking these people. Who told them? I believe that anybody who run to go and do military reshuffling, they know that they are not sincere to their nation. Any president, any country you see here doing military reshuffling, they are not sincere to their people. Maybe they are sincere in the media, but not sincere to their people. That is one thing that you must understand. In Rwanda, in the Rwanda Defense Force RDF released a statement disclosing Kagame's approval of the retirement of 12 generals, 83 senior officers, and 6 junior officers. Additionally, 86 senior non-commissioned officers will be retired. About 678 soldiers retired as their contract concluded, with 160 others medically discharged. Oh! Prominent figures from Rwanda's 1994 liberation war, including General James Kabarebe, General Fred Ibingira, and Lieutenant General Charles Kayonga are among the retired. Both Kabarebe and Kayonga previously held the position of Chief of Defense Staff of the Rwandan Army. On the same day, Kagame elevated several young officers to the rank of colonel and designated new generals to lead military division. Other retirees encompass Lieutenant General Frank Mushayo Kumanzi, currently Rwanda's ambassador to Russia, and Major General. They even retired ambassador to Russia. Wow. That means there is something these people are hiding for us. Because I know that, let me tell people what Russia is doing. And we are not ruling it out that Russia is actually, it is in the favor of Russia. What they are doing is in favor of them. But let me tell you what Russia is doing. Maybe you will know. Some of you who are still not unaware of what Russia is doing in Africa. Russia knows that Russia had what it takes. Do you know that Russia was a world power before the United States, right? The United States took it from Russia, right? They took it from Russia. How did they get empowered? By taking it, from Russia. Because Russia had everything it takes to be a world power after the Adolf Hitler of Germany. Now, if Russia had a world power, was a world power, now it was taken from him. They were not happy. And they noticed that the thing that empowered the United States to take the power from them is the things coming from Africa. Are you paying attention? The things that empowered the Europeans to, back America up and agree on dollar and back them up to be the world power were the things stolen from motherland, Africa. And continuously they are stealing it to maintain their standard. They are continuously stealing it to maintain their standard. Now, Russia noticed that the only way we are going to pluck the feather of these people a little bit, it is to make sure we free Africa. Once we free Africa and make Africa understand that how stupid they are and what they can do without their stupidity, what they can do if they become wise, we will now pluck the feather of these people little bit. That is the reason why Russia is helping anybody that is willing to help themselves to be free from this mental slavery, to be free from this neocolonialism. Russia is there. That is exactly the war that is being fought. They are trying to, bring Russia down as soon as, as much as possible through Ukraine. That's why they are giving depleted uranium. When you talk about depleted uranium, Russia have depleted uranium in, they have it. How about Casablanca, Russia? Russia, they have depleted uranium. They have tactical nukes. So what is depleted uranium? Oh, we're not the Ukraine weapon. So that people will be saying, we are supplying Ukraine weapon. Ukraine is having enough. No. Depleted uranium is more dangerous. If you give it against Russia, do you think Russia does not have it? They have it. They can use it against this Ukraine as well. Then it is more people, more casualties. Then who is fueling the war? So in that regard, so many people believe that it is all about Russia coming to Africa to stop business. Oh, no. They want to help you to wake up so that it will hurt their enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So if they help you to wake up and you remove this neocolonialism that is tearing you apart, they help you to wake up so that there will be multipolar world instead of unipolar world. Instead of bipolar world, there will be multipolar system. Now, that is exactly what Russia is doing. So people are withdrawing their ambassador and changing them to something else. Maybe they will even start changing the ambassadors to Russia, to their brothers and their sisters, changing their military formations. It is not going to stop, something. There is time for everything. The only thing that is constant in life is change. You can never fight change. You can never stop change. Change occurs with time. So that is the change that is here to stay. You can never rule it out. So let's continue to read. On the same day, Kagame elevated several young officers to the rank of colonel and designated new generals to lead military division. Other retirees encompass Lieutenant General Frank Mushayo Kumanzi, currently Rwanda ambassador to Russia, and Major General Abat Morasira A, former defense minister. In June, Kagame appointed Juvenal Marizamunda as the new defense minister, succeeding Abat Morasira, who had held the role since 2018. In parallel, Cameroon President Paul Biya, one of Africa's longest-serving leader, enacted fresh appointment within the Defense Ministry Central Administration Unit, as outlined in the decree shared on social media. I want you to know President Biya is a very old man, a very, very old man who is actually, willing to die in the position of leadership because people of Cameroon, they are actually lame. They cannot move for a change. They cannot call for a change. That is the reason why the military in Cameroon, they are busy fighting against the military or the people, militia of Ambazonia, who saw what is coming and they decide that they want to be free from it. By, these people, they are half dead. These presidents, some of them are half dead because they are, of course, you saw the one of Gabon. He said he doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't know where he is. It means that it is the 47 years old of Macaroni that is actually the one ruling over all this nation, placing this puppet of theirs in the position of power. So All he does is that when it is their birthday, he calls them in France. Let me celebrate your birthday in France. They give them security, everything. And when it is when they want to go to hospital, they go to, best hospital, maybe in France or in any other place. He will just, these people are actually trying to nurture these people not to die, so that they will continue to impoverish the nation. It is the plan to make sure they place you in abject poverty. That's what this, 47 years old has done with these old people, old cargos, whom you call your president. But they will say that we should know that the elders, they know better than the young people. If elders really know better than the young people, how can 47 years old using 90 years, 80 years, 70 years, using them to impoverish their own country? And they tell us that, no, what you see sitting down, what they see sitting down, if we young people climb a tree, we cannot see it. Why are they now reshuffling their military? Since they believe they are good people, they run to reshuffle their military. It is as a result of their evil nature, as a result of their, wrongdoings. That's why they are so scared. If you see any nation in Africa trying to reshuffle their military, you know that they are being, robbing that nation. And they are being advised by the neo-colonialists. Those are the ones who is pushing such narratives, none else. So, if you see Nigeria military, tell Nigeria military that I said they are puppets. They are puppets. They only know how to kill innocent people. They do not know how to save the nation, which they are actually a stakeholder of, which their children are growing up in. They should stop using, they should use that energy they are using to kill innocent people. Use it to bring a change to the status quo. All we have been calling for is that status quo. Let us destroy the status quo that is making Britain to control their creation. Because Nigeria is British creation. They must control the creation. If we don't break that, status quo, we continue to be, a subject to Britain. Because they created that nation. They place us under their creation. They control us through their puppets, old puppets. And those old puppets are now controlling us. We are in a mess. How do we get out of this conundrum? Because if there is a push for revolution, the same puppet military now they are using to go and kill people. But if the military now take a lead, people follow, support them. Nobody is going to kill nobody. Nobody is going to die. It is saving lives.
But what has happened? We have recorded 4. The number is ongoing. Chad. Now Gabon, they are all close to us. But what's the link between Nigeria and Chad and Gabon? How many Nigerians are there? If you must know. Many Nigerians are trading in Gabon. We have a lot of relationships. That country is one of the richest in Africa. It's the 5th largest producer of oil. The population is 2.3 million. Everybody should be living like a king. But the poverty rate is 33%. In that country, small country. The Bongos took over the country with their friends, buying riches, houses all over the world, including France particularly. Nigeria has a GDP of 4,900 now as of 2020. Why Gabon? The per capita is $14,000.
Is it clear?
Why?
Did you hear that? GDP of $14,000. I was actually, estimating it that it was 8,000 Or was it 12,000? 12,000. Okay, I estimated it to be on 12,000. But he said it is now latest 14,000. Even more than Chinese GDP per capita. Because it is a very small country. Which everybody is supposed to know. In Gabon is a place where if you come there will be no poverty there. Because they have resources that is bigger than the nation. It is a place where if you go, everybody are not tashasha. But what is going on there? Facebook, you can reduce it to 0. We are still here. Don't worry. We're not shaking. Keep on reducing it. We are still here. It is a place where if that is for, if you go there, less than 3 million population, that their GDP per capita is $14,000. For if they have to share every year money, everybody in that country will get $14,000 every year. The country will continue running. It does not mean the country stops running. The country will continue running. GDP per person, per capita, $14,000. In Nigeria, GDP per capita was it $2,000. $2,000. The largest economy in Africa. For you to know that Africa, we are, if in mind, what is happening to us is from us. It is from us. Inability of us questioning the man in power. Inability of us leading a revolutionary movement. Inability of us being, consistent. Inability of us questioning the status quo. Inability of us, having the mental strength to pursue what we are looking for, regardless of what is, even if our problem of a black is that once you kill one, because the slogan is that once you kill one or two, they will all run. That is the slogan of the neo-colonialist. Kill one or two, they will all disappear. And they've been doing it. They've been doing it. But immediately when you realize that consistency is what you use to fight off this boogeyman, then you will find the boogeyman, they will fear you, they will respect you, they will call you a human being now. We are going to leave it here. Until we meet again, share the video, invite others to join. I know very well why we are limited today. Facebook limited us. We will, make sure we get this message across. I know why, but we will get it across. You will watch tomorrow. For me to tell you, I know why. Watch tomorrow, the number we are going to get here tomorrow. Watch it. Because we know how they manipulate these things now. I know how they manipulate these things now. So watch tomorrow. We will get there. Until we meet again, stay safe and stay informed. Bye for now. We will be back here tomorrow. By this time, or by that time we started this program, we will be back. Shalom.